Hi everybody, welcome to class. My name's Todd McLeod. I'm a professor in California, and it's my honor to be your professor here in this class. I'm excited to share with you some amazing things which are going to help you be more successful as a student at college and university, and also in all of life. You're going to learn principles in this class which will help you tremendously to help you achieve whatever goals you want to achieve, to help you earn more money, to help you have a nicer house, to help you have better cars, to help you take better vacations, to help you have a more rewarding career, a more fulfilling career where you are able to achieve and impact people's lives. So you're going to learn all that stuff in this course. And I want to start this course out by showing you my transcripts from when I was a student. You can see here on the left, here's a little bit of information from my undergraduate education. I was just sort of a B, C student. I was mostly a B student. I got like 1A, 2 A's here. These B pluses, looking back upon them, I wish I knew then what I know now, because these all would have been A's. If I knew then what I know now, these would have all been A's. And this was my undergraduate education here. And then when I went to graduate school, I had figured some things out about the game of school and the game of life. Because if you know how to play the game, if you know the rules, if you know how the game is played, it greatly increases your probability of success, right? If you know how to play Monopoly, if you know how to play poker, you could potentially win at Monopoly and poker. But if you don't know how to play those games, you're not going to fare well. So here as a graduate student, I'd figure out, how do you play this game of school? How do you succeed at school? How do you succeed at life? I'd figure out some of these principles, and you could see I went to all A's. So here I have all A's, and not only that, when I graduated from graduate school, I received the Dean's Medal, which is an award that they give to the very top graduate that year, and they gave it to me that year. So I'm going to share with you in this course what I figured out to take me from being a very mediocre and average student to being the very best student. And that's what you're going to learn here in this course. And what you learn is going to help you as a student at both college and university, but it's also going to help you in all of life. So that's a little bit about me. I want to also share with you a little section overview of what we're going to cover in this section here. We'll see that in a second. We also talked about how life is like a game, and if you know the rules, you know how the game is played, you're more likely to succeed at that game. But first I want to do, before we get down to this stuff right here, I want to give you a little section overview of everything we're going to cover in this section. And to do that, we're going to go to the top of our course outline right here. And you can see that course outline. These are the different lecture videos which we're going to take a look at in this section, which is getting started with college and university success. We're in this first lecture video right here, but I also just want to preview for you the value of what you're going to get in this first section. So in this lecture video, the next lecture video, we're going to take a look at how degrees really correlate with dollars and how they open doors. So degrees get dollars, and degrees open doors, right? But it's a really high probability, which means you have a high probability of success pathway to get into a good career and have good impact and have a good salary. Degrees open that for you. So we're going to look at the value of higher education in the next video, and then we're going to see how to choose your future paycheck, which is basically selecting a degree with a strong career potential, and also taking into consideration how AI is transforming the workplace. So we'll see that in the video, the third video. In the fourth video, we're going to look at, can you succeed in college? The transformative power of education. And you're going to hear an amazing story about my family, and you're also going to learn about the #1 factor that correlates with student success. And here's a short preview. Yes, you can succeed at college and university. And I'm going to tell you the #1 factor that correlates with student success when we get to that video. We'll also take a look at leveraging AI for student success. We're going to see this all the way through the course. But right here in this in this lecture video here, we're going to get started with looking at how do we use AI to be more successful as students. And then we're also going to see affordable degrees online. We're going to take a look at University of the People. It's a WASC accredited university. You're going to learn what that means when we get to that lecture video. But basically, it has the highest stamp, the highest seal of approval that any university can have. It's an American university. It's all online, and it was built to give everybody in the world the opportunity to achieve a university, an American university degree. And they also have financial aid, and so it's really low cost, and it's a completely legitimate online American university that offers bachelor's and master's degrees. So it really eliminates that financial barrier to earning your bachelor's and master's degree that a lot of people can face. All right, so that's what we're going to see in the section. To finish up this lecture video right here, I want to make sure that everybody's clear on a couple of terms. And those terms are primary education, secondary education, post-secondary education, college, and university. So I put some AI prompts here. You could take these prompts, you could copy them, and then you could go to your favorite chatbot, your favorite large language model chatbot like ChatGPT or Grok or Gemini or Copilot or Claude, and there's other ones out there, and we're going to become more familiar with large language model chatbots and different AI tools as we go through the course. But you could take that prompt and you could put it into these different chatbots, and then you could read the responses. And so if you want to take a look at the response that ChatGPT gave for primary, secondary, and post-secondary, you could read that there. And here is the one that Grok gave, and here is the one that Gemini gave, and then here is the one that Copilot gave, and then here is the one that Claude gave. And so it's good to kind of compare the different chatbots to see which one produces which results, and also to see which one you like. And as we go through the course, I guess I'll share this now. My favorite is ChatGPT and Grok. Gemini is also really good. I'm not going to say anything about Copilot. And Claude is also useful, though I never go there. All right, so primary education is elementary school. It's usually like K through 6. Secondary education is like junior high and high school, 7th through 12th grade. And post-secondary education is anything after high school, anything after 12th grade. And that includes college, university, vocational training. That's post-secondary education. Just in case you hear those terms, I want you to know what they mean. And the difference between college and university, universities are more high caliber. They're going to do graduate students in graduate school. They'll produce PhDs and MDs and master's degrees and bachelor's degrees, and they're research focused. And they're bigger and they're more high profile. Those are universities. Colleges are like entryway ramps to universities. They'll do like the first 2 years of undergraduate education, and then students will often transfer to university to finish up their bachelor's degree. And colleges also do like lifelong learning and vocational. And in America, they can be very community oriented, so they also offer like community oriented classes like, hey, come take a PE exercise class. And you could just go to community college and you could take classes just out of personal interest for all of your life. And so that's a little bit about what colleges and universities are and the distinctions between them. All right, so that's a little introduction to the class. I'm glad you're here. We're getting started. You're gonna learn some amazing things. I guarantee that if you apply the principles that you learn in this course, it's gonna make you extremely successful as a student, and that it'll also really help you be successful in life. And so if you wanna achieve what most people do not achieve, if you wanna be in the top 1%, if you want to be in the top 1% of income earners, if you want to be in the top 1% of homes, if you want to drive the top 1% of cars, and I'm not just talking about having a Ferrari or Porsche or a Lamborghini, but if you want like a really nice, safe, solid Volvo XC90 for your family to ride in, which is not an inexpensive car, it's an expensive car. If you want to be in the top 1% of income, of households, of homes, of neighborhoods, of cars, of food in your fridge, of healthcare, right? Because we do live in a very economically segregated society where there are people, with money get better healthcare, they get better food, they get better vacations, they get better schools. If you want to be in that top 1%, if you want to achieve what most people do not achieve, you have to do what most people do not do. And in this course, you're going to learn how to do that. So I'm glad you're here. You're going to learn some amazing stuff. Let's go on to the next lecture and start learning. See you in the next lecture.